Hundreds of families in Nashville fought to stop the bulldozers, but the city didn't back down. Lawsuits were filed, politicians got entangled, a piece of local history was nearly erased, and then, at the last moment, the mayor who championed the project resigned in scandal. The project was frozen, doubts resurfaced, and against all odds, it was approved. But that was only the beginning. A pandemic, delays, a tornado, and not a single dollar of taxpayer money. And in the end, the capital of country music became home to the largest soccer stadium in the United States. So how did an almost impossible project become a new symbol of the city? This is the story of Geodis Park, the stadium that was built against all odds. Nashville may be best known for country music, but in the late 2010s, it set its sights on a different stage, Major League Soccer. With a growing population, rising national profile, and a hunger for top-tier sports, the city launched an aggressive bid to land an MLS expansion team. That dream came true in December 2017, when MLS officially awarded a franchise to Nashville. But the celebration was short-lived. The team's proposed stadium site, the Nashville Fairgrounds, ignited an immediate firestorm. The fairgrounds weren't just an empty lot. For over 100 years, the site had hosted the Tennessee State Fair, flea markets, and weekly stock car races at the historic Speedway. Generations of working-class Nashvillians had grown up attending those events. To them, this wasn't unused land. It was part of the city's cultural fabric. Opposition came fast and loud. A group called Save Our Fairgrounds filed a lawsuit against the city in 2017.
They are concerned about the space. They have to reduce the size of the midway down from what it has been the last decade.
Arguing that building a stadium on the site would violate the Metro Charter and displace long-standing community events. Another legal challenge followed from the Tennessee State Fair Association, backed by Congressman John Rose. They claimed the city had failed to preserve space for the fair, which was protected under local law. Although the lawsuits were eventually dismissed, they weren't the end of the drama. In 2018, Nashville's then mayor, Megan Barry, who had championed the stadium, resigned amid a political scandal. Her successor, Mayor John Cooper, was far less enthusiastic. He froze progress on the stadium and publicly called the financing plan a bad deal for the city. Nashville SC's dream stadium was stalled, caught between angry community groups, legal red tape, and an increasingly skeptical city government. Then came a turning point. In early 2020, after months of negotiations, Mayor Cooper reached a revised agreement with the team's owners. That deal broke the political gridlock and allowed the project to move forward. The stadium's design was entrusted to two powerhouse firms, Populous, a global leader in sports architecture, and Hastings, a respected Nashville-based studio known for its focus on local identity. Together, they envisioned a venue that would reflect both the industrial character of the fairgrounds and the creative energy of Nashville itself. The construction contract was awarded to a joint venture between Mortenson and Messer Construction, two heavyweight firms with deep portfolios in sports and entertainment venues. From the start, Geodis Park was imagined as a fortress of soccer, steep, loud, and intimate. But it had to look and feel like it belonged to Nashville. Its exterior blended industrial steelwork with warm brick facades, drawing inspiration from the city's historic warehouses and working-class heritage. The structure was designed to rise organically from the fairground site, modern yet grounded, sleek but unmistakably Southern. Every architectural detail was chosen to reflect the grit and charm of the city it calls home. But what happened next would test the entire construction team's ability to adapt, improvise, and deliver under pressure. It was a race against time, nature, and budget, one that would push the limits of engineering and resilience, because just as the groundwork began, the world turned upside down. Construction officially began in July 2020. Just as shovels hit the ground, the COVID-19 pandemic exploded across the globe. Global supply chains buckled, steel mills slowed, and shipments of concrete, seating, and electrical components were delayed. What should have been a smooth start spiraled into a logistical nightmare. But the project didn't stop. Instead, the team got creative. Crews adapted to new safety protocols, managed shifting material deliveries, and adjusted work schedules to keep things moving. and despite the chaos, the structure began to rise. Steel girders framed the sharp rake of the seating bowl. More than 6,000 tons of steel, the weight of 100 loaded semi-trucks, formed the skeleton of the stadium. Over 25,000 cubic yards of concrete were poured across the site, including in the upper decks, which were constructed using post-tension slabs. That engineering method, which stretches cables inside the concrete, allowed for longer, thinner platforms without bulky support beams, giving fans better views and opening up concourse space. By late 2021, the stadium was entering its final stretch. But then came the tornado. A violent storm system ripped across Tennessee in December 2021, damaging infrastructure across the region. The timing and intensity of the storm created new logistical headaches just as the stadium neared completion. But even as the city dealt with power outages and transportation delays, the construction team refused to lose momentum. They kept the final phase of the build going right through the chaos. And when the dust settled, what fans walked into in May 2022 was nothing short of spectacular. 30,000 seats were packed tightly into a single-tier bowl, with no fan more than 150 feet from the pitch. The steep slope of the stands created a pressure cooker effect, fans towering over the field, their energy bouncing off the sweeping canopy roof. That canopy wasn't just designed for shade or rain protection, it was engineered to enhance crowd noise. Every chant, cheer, or whistle gets reflected back into the bowl, increasing the intensity tenfold. High-resolution LED boards at each end of the stadium deliver crystal-clear match footage and replays visible from every seat. The main board measures 34 by 60 feet, about the size of a 5-story building laid flat, while the auxiliary spans 20 by 54 feet. A massive 22 by 40-foot screen greets fans at the entry gate from the moment they arrive. Inside, fascia and pitch-level LED displays wrap the bowl, including one that stretches 560 feet, which is more than 1.5 football fields long. These screens keep the energy high with real-time stats, bold graphics, and non-stop sponsor content. The audio system, designed by WJHW, has been praised for its clarity and reach, with speakers integrated throughout the bowl and concourse levels to ensure consistent, immersive sound throughout the venue. Beneath the stands, the fan experience continues with a 65-foot wide concourse that nearly wraps around the entire stadium. While the concourse allows for easy access to food, drinks, and merchandise, it narrows on the west side, where access is limited to club and suite ticket holders, slightly restricting full 360-degree circulation for general admission fans. Geodis Park features a diverse lineup of premium seating options, from 27 private suites and field-level seats to exclusive club spaces, including the ultra-luxurious Transcard Premier Club, the sports-themed Goalpost Club, and the music-inspired WeHo Club that captures the spirit of Nashville's vibrant scene. At the heart of the north end is the back line, the official supporter section, a standing-only area outfitted with safe standing rails and capo platforms, designed to create a relentless wall of sound and energy on match day. The playing surface itself is elite. Beneath the natural grass lies a sand-based root zone paired with a sub-air system, the same kind used at top-tier stadiums like Wembley. It keeps the field cool in summer, dry during storms, and healthy year-round. Rain can fall mid-match, and the field will stay perfectly playable. The press box and media center are built to international broadcast standards. The stadium offers public Wi-Fi, energy-efficient LED lighting, and modern infrastructure designed for future upgrades. There's no mistaking it. This isn't just a stadium. It's a full-blown experience, and the fact that it was built under pressure that would crush many other projects makes it all the more impressive. But in the end, a stadium is only as powerful as the people who fill it. So, did it work? Did Geodis Park live up to the fight it took to build it? And has it truly earned its place in the heart of the city it was made for? You're about to find out next. Beyond the design and drama, the financing behind Geodis Park tells a story of its own. Originally, the stadium's funding plan involved a public-private partnership, with the city issuing revenue bonds and the team contributing through lease payments and other revenues. However, in February 2020, a revised agreement was reached with Mayor John Cooper, wherein Nashville SC committed to funding 100% of the stadium's construction costs through private means, including cash investments, stadium lease payments, and revenues generated from events. In addition, the team agreed to pay $19 million in extra infrastructure improvements, covering roads, utilities, and site prep around the stadium. The financial structure of the project was further bolstered by a long-term naming rights partnership with Geodis, a global logistics company with North American headquarters in Brentwood, Tennessee. This partnership not only provided additional funding, but also solidified the stadium's identity within the community.
Its lasting name, Geodis Park, one of the final touches, and really we just need to add soccer and fans now.
The result? A venue built with zero direct taxpayer money, a rarity in American sports, and delivered ahead of schedule. But how was it received? Despite its rocky origins, public opinion has largely turned in the stadium's favor. Sellout crowds have filled the stands since its opening day, and the supporter culture, led by the backline, has turned Geodis Park into one of the loudest, most intimidating atmospheres in Major League Soccer. Nashville SC also quickly became one of the league's top-performing franchises in ticket sales and attendance, regularly drawing over 28,000 fans per game. The stadium has also proved to be a valuable community asset. In addition to MLS matches, Geodis Park has hosted concerts, corporate events, and international friendlies, generating consistent non-match day revenue and boosting local tourism and hospitality sectors. As for the future, the outlook is bright. Nashville SC has a long-term lease and is committed to growing soccer's footprint in the Southeast. The stadium itself was built with scalability in mind, capable of adapting to future tech upgrades, expanded programming, and evolving fan experiences. With so much room to grow, one thing is clear: the story of Geodis Park has only just begun. Ready to be amazed by the next groundbreaking construction project? Click on the video now and dive into a world where engineering and imagination collide. See you there!